Okay. Kimbo Kimo na Tatanzambia Mazulu Kimfumu Kia Kuyisa. Nice to see you, family. We have today our great brother, our historian young man with us from Kenya. Now he disappeared. Now he disappeared. So let us just wait. I don't know what he did. I hope you guys are doing fine. Let me start with a prayer. Tanzania Mazulu Father, great spirit, that are spirit of love. Give us strength, wisdom, knowledge. Father, we need you more than ever in these tough times, especially in these end days, in these end times, and the end of the year are the toughest times. This is where the enemy wants to show to his father the bad spirits what he have done so far, and he's trying to take as much people as possible. Father, give us strength in our families, each one of us, to not to fall to the trap of the enemy. Father, let us be united and let the Spirit always be among us. Teach us again righteousness and strength. Let your wisdom be always surrounding us so that we can do your work. Teach us again war and teach us our history again, Ingeta.
Sorry, something that's happened. I'm sorry.
Here you are on the Bantu channel. And
Yeah, I'm back in the
what
channel.
is your name, brother?
Let me use my African name. I'm Muyembe Makale.
Greetings.
I'm Muyembe
Bote,
Makale.
you know?
Yeah.
Greetings. You're highly welcome.
Thank you.
Brother Makale, you come from Kenya?
Yes, I come from Kenya.
Yes. And from where in Kenya?
I come from the western side, the western part of Kenya, that is Kakamega. Speaking of the western side, we have Kakamega, we have Bungoma, we have Trans Nzoia, we have Busia, and we also have Vihiga. So western part of the country, where my clan comes from, it's made of 5 counties. We call that the bigger western region of Kenya.
Wow, that sounds good to me.
Thank you.
In the moment we see some drought happening in Kenya. Do you know something about that? We know that in this region, Kenya is bordering with Somalia, Tanzania. Yeah. So we see a drought in these regions. Can you tell us something about that?
Drought has been a big menace in the country for the longest time. Let's say even before I was born. Yeah, drought has been a big menace. They normally come up with the stories on how they're gonna eradicate it and those stuff, but it's normally those are stories. We have droughts in Wajir, Mandera. The northern part of the country that borders Ethiopia and Sudan. Yeah, Ethiopia and Sudan experiences droughts like from year to year, despite of them having a lake that comes from River Omo that comes from Ethiopia coming down. It's not helping that much. So drought has been the name there. Yeah, and also speaking about the drought, we also have the eastern part of the country that is we call it Cumberland. That part has also been having drought for the longest time I can remember. And on geographical matters, they normally say it faces the leeward side of Mount Kenya, So they don't get the breeze that brings rain that results in the drought.
Yeah. I think you do not know the spiritual part of this. Like I said, there's many stories behind the drought, but this is not why you are here. Yeah, you don't have to know everything, but you know a lot, and we want to know what you know. So it's your show. We want to hear about the history, the economical history of Kenya, how Kenya became this Kenya that we can see today, the names from before,
Mm,
and the clans. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah. So Kenya, before it was Kenya, what I have in mind is that we all came from, we were all from Congo. We are all from Congo, a place called Shungwaya. It was one kingdom of Congo, and all Bantus. Just to put it across, that Bantus are Bantus is the most is the largest clan that covers
the southern part of Africa.
that covers Kenya, not even Kenya alone, but it covers Uganda, it covers Kenya, it covers
The
Tanzania.
largest ethnic in whole Africa on the
Yeah,
map.
yeah, 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 yeah. The largest ethnic divide of the that we have in Africa. So we all came from we were all descendants of Congo, and from the history books we are told that there came a time in Congo where the Zulu, the Shaka Zulu of South Africa, invaded Congo, and Zulu himself, the warrior, wanted to take over Congo, and due to the tribal conflicts and in fact war is the biggest reason as to why you are divided from as to why Bantus ran off from Congo. So during that time, most of the people started running out from Congo. So I'm speaking about Kenya. So when they came to Kenya, they started like let us go to the southern part of let us go to the central part of the country, let us go to the western part of the country. For those who love the coast, they just decided let us remain at the coast. So it was for our forefathers to like decide which part is going to favor us, which part do we love, which part is going to favor our trade, which part is going to favor our culture. And that's how Bantus found themselves here in Kenya. Then concerning the name, honestly speaking, I don't know what the name was before it was Kenya, but I know that it was one whole kingdom of Congo.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
The borders was made. All the borders came later.
yeah,
We
yeah,
had
sure.
no borders among us. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
borders. Yeah,
So we are really well divided by the conqueror. Yeah,
yeah,
the
sure.
oppressor. Yeah, you have different kinds of clans in Kenya. Do
Yeah,
you
sure.
can you name them?
Yeah, we have different clans. We have different clans in Kenya, and I'm going to name the three major clans in Kenya. We have the Bantu clan, we have the Nilotic clan, and we have the Nilots. We have the Bantus. We have the Semites. Yeah, we have the Semites too, and the Kushites. So the Kushites, the Nilots, and the Bantus are the major composition of this country. Then we have the Semites. The Semites came from they came from the Arab states, Somali, Arab, and that's why they found they are in the northern part of the country. They are the northern part of the country. They are the Semites.
Hmm. And the language, it's very similar also to the other East African languages, right? If you go to
Yeah, we do share. Let me speak as a Bantu. We Bantus share most of the words. Yeah, we do share most of the words. Like when a when a coastal Bantu speaks, the Western Bantu can hear, the Eastern Bantu can hear some of the words, and even the Highland Bantu can still hear. Let me use an example of Mtu. Mtu means a person. Mtu means a person in the coastal Bantus. When you go to Western Bantus, it means they say Mundu, Mundu. Then when you go to the Highland Bantus, they call a person Mudu, Mudu. So you can hear the Bantu, just a little differences, but yeah, we can really hear when our brothers and sisters speak. And under the Bantus, the Bantus is also divided a lot here, because under the Bantus we have the coastal Bantus. The coastal Bantus is made up of 9 subclans. 9 subclans that's calling themselves the Mijikenda. The Mijikenda means the 9 clans. So that's the composition of the whole coastal Bantus. We have the Giriama, which is the major one. We have the Kauma, we have the Rabai, we have the Digo, we have the Chonyi, we have the Kauma, we have the Rabai. Yeah, so they are made of 9 subclans, just the coastal Bantus. And when you go to Western Bantus, we have like almost 12 dialects of the Bantus. We have the Abukusu, we have the Abagusi, we have the Abanyoro, Abakisa, we have the Idaho, we have the Cabras, we have the Bukusu. Yeah, just lots of sub clans under the Bantus. It's the bigger house of the Bantus. Under it we have children. Yeah.
Wow. We hear very often about the Kikuyu. Can you tell us something about them?
Yeah, Kikuyu, this is a highland Nilot. The highlands Bantus. They hold a very special place in this country. The reason as to I'm saying this is that they are the ones who spearheaded for the independence of this country. They fought in the caves, they fought in the mountains, they fought in waters, in swamps, just to fight for the independence of this country. So they are the largest Bantus here in Kenya. They are the largest Bantus. So after the Bantus from the highlands, we have the Bantus. We have the Bantus from the western. So it's the Kikuyu. The Kikuyu, it has the Ambere, Agikuyu, Aembu, lots, the Ameru. Yeah. So they also consist of lots of sub-tribes under them. I can't be able to mention them all now, but it's big. They cover the mountain, and just a matter of fact, Mount Kenya alone, we call it Mount Kenya. The Central Bantu alone can feed the whole country because of the good climate, climate conditions that support.
It's a blessed era.
It supports farming. In fact, rice. For those who are in Nigeria, maybe they call it jollof and everything. Yeah. So it supports the plantation of rice, bananas, sorghum. So it's a big clan, and we should.
Who was the enemy of Kenya on that time? I think the enemy, because in Kenya you have also the Kenyan. They became Muslims and all this. Maybe you can tell us who was the enemy of Kenya.
The enemy of
who invaded Kenya.
The people who invaded Kenya. Going back to history, we have the traders. Traders came first. Traders came first in the country, and the first traders were Arabs. And when they came to the coasts. The second lot to come to Kenya were explorers. Speaking of explorers, I'm speaking of Vasco da Gama. I'm speaking of John's Peak and the whole group. That's the second lot. The third lot was missionaries. Speaking of missionaries, I'm speaking of Dr. Ludwig Kraft, Dr. John Rebman, who came to Kenya. So all these people had effects to the had effect to Kenya as a whole, because when the traders came, it really affected the people, the coastal people, because they intermarried, and thus came Swahili. We didn't have Swahili. Swahili, the origin of Swahili is the intermarriage between the Bantus and the Arabs. So most of the Swahili words that are used, that is being spoken here, are in fact borrowed from the Arabs. So when the missionaries came, we do believe when the missionaries came, they came and brought education. And after bringing education, they brought religion. The Arabs brought the Islamic religion. Then the missionary brought the Christian religion. Then afterwards, that's when the colonizer came. So the colonizer comes when the missionaries have already taught Christianity and stuff, how you should be obedient to your masters, and that's when we invite in the colonizers. Yeah.
How could the colonizers win the war against Kenya? Isn't it that Kenya had also a war in the between each other? So between the clans, there were also wars, and people that came from the north, because you are bordering Somalia and other countries in the Africa. Didn't they not help to make Kenya fall, or how was this?
Yeah, we had internal warfares. This was like in the history books and documentaries and human knowledge too. We had the sub-clan fights, and this was a thing to do with with wealth. We had the Agikuyu going to should I say, I don't want to use the word steal, but they used to be raiding the homes of the Maasai. Yeah, the Nilos. They used to be raiding the homes of the Maasai in the nights, burning their homesteads, taking everything that belongs to them. And at that point, the Maasai also have to show their might that we are not weaklings. Of course, we have to go fight back. So it was an issue to do with wealth, stealing from each other, taking from each other, conquering. Yeah, the Western Bantus, maybe the Abagusi, going to fight the Abagusu so that they can take their cattle. Cattle was the biggest reason for their fights. Cattle. Yeah.
My goodness. And how do you see the Kenyan people today? Do they understand that they have to go back to their traditions and culture and leave the foreign religions and traditions? And um, do the Kenyan people wake up? Like which kind of position are there? Is the country?
Here in Kenya, we have an African adage, which says that mwachamila ni mtumwa. Like you're not supposed to forget your roots. If you forget your roots, you're a slave. That's what it means. And we are in a century whereby people have not really put this the history, the historical background It's very sad. We are living in a century or in a generation that we have families who are only living in town. They've never gone to the village. They've never seen the faces of their grandparents. They've never seen the faces of their aunties. They know completely nothing about, they completely know nothing about where they come from. So it's a challenge. It's a challenge, and putting the internet or the social media into consideration. It really has affected. It really has affected this generation in matters of knowing their backgrounds, and also parents, the parenting system. Parents don't tell their children where they come from. They don't tell them, go to school, go to university, after there, complete your studies, go look for your own life. And it's been a challenge. It's been a challenge. But for us who are lucky to have that time with our grandparents, we were lucky to get some history concerning our backgrounds, our great grandfathers, their lifestyles, their culture. So
White
it's
people used to love the Kenyan country. They love the Kenyan country. The most of the people there that I met in the West, yeah,
yeah,
from Kenya, they intermarried with white, yeah.
yeah.
So Kenyan people there, for them, it's very easy to intermarry with white people. Is it? Why is it so? Yeah, because we
Mm,
have in the Bantu clans, we have some clans like me. I'm a Bakongo. I know that we have some other clans also from Congo. They love to intermarry with white. Like
mm,
I'm now here in Angola. The Southerners, they are all mixed. They're all mulattoes. We have a lot of mulattoes in Angola.
mm, mm.
Yeah, they're intermarried with the Portuguese. We
Yeah,
have Santo Tome. We have Cabinda. These people are light skinned. Yeah, but
yeah.
the Bakongo people, they died before they gave their daughter to a white man or something like that. But in Kenya, is there some clans they love to intermarry with white people, or what do you know about that? Because it's always depends. I think it depends on the clans as well.
Honestly speaking, I don't think if there's any clan that supports intermarriage between them and the whites.
Mm.
There's no clan that supports that. Just like I've said previously, the generation that we are in now, like we can go back to the 1980s and 1970s and the early 1990s. We didn't have a lot of intermarriages between us and the whites. It only started in the 1995s upwards till now. It's no longer this. They no longer see it as a big deal. But honestly speaking, there's no clan that.
Normally, it's all about the money today. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Who if a white man comes with money, yeah, what's going on? Yeah. But not everyone is a bad person. But yeah, because I also saw Kenyan many adopted children in the West from Kenya that white people have adopted, and later they went to school. I even had a friend; he was adopted.
Mm.
Um, the Nilotic people, did they always live in Kenya, or did they come as foreigners in Kenya?
They just came like us, like with the Bantus. During we call it migration, the Bantu migration. We also have the Nilot migration. We also have the Kushites migration. So the Nilots, they came from the upper part of Africa, the northern part, and Sudan, to be precise. We have the River Lake Nilots. The River Lake Nilots, just to add something there, the father to uh, the former president of the United States of America, that is Barack Obama. The father has roots from the
Exactly.
Nile, and
Yes.
that the River Lake Nilotes. Let me say let me speak of where they originated. They came
These
from
people are very tall and not like the Bantus. Huh?
they're, let me say, dark, the dark and tall and fierce. So they come from Sudan, and they followed the lake, not lake, sorry, they followed the River Nile. They followed the Nile, and the source of River Nile is Lake Victoria. So they ended up being in they ended up being in should I say the outskirts, or they're just neighbors to the lake, Lake Victoria. That was not the name. We had a name before it. So they lived near the Lake Victoria. Those are the River Lake Nilotes, and other Nilotes went to the Highland Nilotes. Now what should I say, the highlands, like the Rift Valley, the Rift Valley, and that also brings a difference in their economic lifestyle. Like the River Lake Nilos, they depend on the ocean. They fish. They fish on the ocean from the lake. Sorry, is their main commodity of sale, if I should say that. Then the Highland Nilotes, just to put something across, our president, the president that the president was just been elected a few weeks, comes from the Highland Nilotes. So yeah, that's how they came.
Yeah. For me, it's all good. The only thing is that they have to. Um, for me, is that they have to fight for Africa. You know.
Mhm.
Yesterday, I had a teaching about that we can be all called Africa, even if we are from different kinds of clans and tribes, ethnies. But we have to fight together. Yeah. We have in China. Yeah, you had different kinds of clans there. The Chow Chows against the Tsang Kwao or whatever. Yeah, you can look at their videos and movies. But
Mhm.
later you could see that they came together. Today it's a united China. There is
Yes,
a United Nations of America. There is
mm,
a United Nations of England. There is a United Europe. Europe
yeah.
was the barbarians here, the Vandals here. Then you had the Romans on the other side.
Mm,
But Africa, still today, these presidents, they have nothing better to do than to talk rubbish. They can't unite us, you know,
mm, yeah.
giving us one language. It starts with that. Teaching us our culture, our history. Like you're a young man talking about your history. I don't know how many people can do the same, you
Mhm.
know.
Yeah.
And they have to try to unite us, even to take the borders out from their borders from you. If you want to go to Uganda, there are borders if he wants to go to Rwanda.
Yeah.
There are borders everywhere. Where
Mm,
does this borders come from? Borders divides. If I want to drive from Germany to Belgium, I drive. No police, nothing. 160. You see me driving. The
mm,
music loud, you
mm.
know. But
Yes.
here, you can't go to the Congo. You can't go from Angola to Tanzania or to Namibia
Yes.
without paying a lot of money, without having a visa. How can that be? You can't send goods
Mm,
with DHL from A to B. Yeah.
yeah.
So all these kind of things must stop. Africa must come together
Mm,
uh, because this has nothing to do with oh yeah, I'm coming from this tribe. I'm coming from this tribe. This has something to do that these leaders are still not our leaders. That's why I want to ask about the political situation in your country. Is
Mhm.
it stable? What is happening there at the moment? Or can't you talk about it before they come and take over your house? Or
Oh, even if they take over my house for saying that they can do that, I'm not. I'm not afraid of speaking. That's the truth. Everybody, I know people won't be happy to know that the country is polarized at the moment. The country is divided. That's what I must say. And the leaders are not doing anything better to help the country get out from that situation right now. We just had an election. Uh, I don't want to be too political and to align myself into a certain, maybe a certain coalition. But the president that was just elected uh, won the election with 7.1 million, while the one who followed came with 6.9 million. On numbers, the electoral commission, the independent electoral bodies that stands for elections in Kenya, says that there was only a difference of 200,000 votes between the winner and the loser, if I should say it. They've taken the government, they formed the government, and I've tried carrying out some bit of ground research from people here, there. Out of 10 people whom I've asked, 4 are happy, 6 are not happy. So I can't come out here and say that the political temperatures in my country, or the political situation is good and everybody is fine. It's only that we decided to come out of that cocoon of violence.
yeah, no one want war.
Yeah, we
No
don't
one.
want to. We don't want to fight. These are our
And I
brothers.
think the president is also chosen from the same white guy, like in every other African country. You know.
Yeah, yeah. And we've seen it. We've seen it. Yeah. We saw some presidents acknowledging, and that's good. That's good. But the only thing that I can say to the leaders of the country, this is a divided country. If you won an election, don't. The tongue is a very bad weapon. Come out and speak peace. Don't come out and chest stamp the way you've won an election. Remember, 6.9 million. It's not a small number. It's not a small number. These are people, maybe they invested their emotions. Some people invested their minds, everything, finances. So the country, the people who just won the election, my advice to them is to that help unite the country. Just help unite the country. People are not bad. People don't want to fight. Just like what happened in 2007, the post-election violence of 2007, 2008. It was a bad one. I was young, but I was keen to see what happened. People died, houses were burnt, and people were burnt in those churches. People were killed from their houses. Stuffs were stolen. So we learned from that, and afterwards the leaders went on. They united. They reunited, and but that could not bring the dead bodies to life. So we learned from that. We learned from that. Never are we going to kill each other because of politics. Never are we going to do that. But let also our leaders not be used as instruments to incite the citizens of its country. Yeah, that's what I can say concerning the political situation that we have right now in the country.
Yeah, and what is about the religious situation? You are divided between the people that believe in the culture, and then you have the people that believe in Islam, and there are many, and also Christians are over there. So, what's going on if you have a clash of clans in one country?
We try as much as we can to not to get to a point where we shall fight we shall fight like against religion, Christianity fighting Hinduism fighting Islamic. We don't, and the traditionals also. We all, because at the end of the day, they believe in one deity. They believe in one creator. So if all religions preach one creator, and the creator says that we should love each other, we don't want to get to a position where we shall fight against clans and fight against religions.
Did you ever hear about the Islam when they talk about the Mahdi? When
Muhammad,
Islam talks about Mahdi and the end of the days when they will invade the world, this is also what you're seeing at the moment in Mozambique, that you see in Cote d'Ivoire, which is Ivory Coast, what you will see in Nigeria with the Boko Haram. You will see that the Muslim, I have to say that the Muslims in Africa, normally these people are very humble people. Yeah, they're not like the Muslim, like the Arabic. Yeah, that's why Gaddafi was against the Arabic. Everyone hates the Arabic Muslims. Yeah, they are these people are uh, they are everything. They're Jews. They're clearly Christians, but no one knows. Yeah, they are not really Muslims. Yeah, they are all the same. All them, all these clans there. Yeah, the Pope is the boss. But in the end effect, we have still some people among us. They are radicalists, and they believe in the prophecies of these books. And yeah, you can see that those crazy people that cause the Jewish, they're trying to build the third temple as well, and trying to fight and invade other countries. So everyone is doing things according to the book. Yeah,
mm,
you can believe it or not. Everyone tried to fulfill his prophecies. Like my father always used to say, uh, Satan has his prophecies that must be fulfilled, that is written. And yeah, and we are having also our prophecies that must be fulfilled. So if you believe it or not, just to give you some prophecies and some insights, the drought is not a joke. The drought will come deeper.
mm,
Yeah, people will flee again to the Congo Basin.
yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm,
yeah.
mm,
People will
yes.
flee again to the Congo Basin,
They will.
and the water will come from east and to west one day to come over and take over the land. Yeah,
Yes.
so that you
Yeah.
can't do agriculture and all these kinds of things. And one of the other major problem will be the invading of the Muslims. Yeah, the
Mm,
Muslims themselves, they are good people, humans like you and I. Me too. I can become someone. If I'm angry, I can also take a knife and kill someone. So it's not about the people itself. It's about the religion.
yeah.
Yeah, it's the
Yes.
religion.
I,
Religion calls you to do something that you maybe
I,
not even want to do.
I get
So
you.
will do this, and they will come to Africa and start doing, start terrorizing us, and we have to
Mm.
be prepared.
Yeah, speaking on the books, and at first I believed that the world was a better place. It was a very very peaceful place until some books came. They came to divide us. I sometimes imagine maybe the world without the books. Maybe we could have another factor fighting another factor, but not religion. So we were dividing. The country has been divided: Christianity, Muslim. Right now, as you're speaking, I'm in Mombasa, the heart of the Muslim religion in Kenya. Yes, Mombasa, in Mombasa. This is where the first traders, the first traders from Arab came. They came here. That's why they're the majority. If I get out here and walk, out of the 10 people that I'll come across, 6 will be Muslims. Maybe 2 will be Christians, the others no religion.
Do you know the history of Muhammad when he fled to the area of Abizana?
I had Muslim friends, and we used to be sharing a little bit of history.
Did you ever see a white man fleeing to Africa? Like Jesus should flee to Egypt and live together with the Pharaoh and say, "Here, I'm Jesus. I'm run away from Israel." Did you ever see something like that in the ancient times?
Them fleeing to Africa? No.
No.
That,
So Muhammad fled to Africa with met there Bilal,
Mhm.
the black man too. So
Mm.
this Muhammad, he couldn't be so white like this Muslims are telling us, right? You see how easy these things goes, and
Mm.
that's why you have a lot of Muslims in this era.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why you have a lot of Muslims in this era. Yeah.
Yeah. That just the way you started that the African Muslims, they're very friendly. That's what I must say. Even in terms of being kind-hearted, these people are so kind. They follow the book. They follow the book. They say they speak of Tawab and following the prophecies of Prophet Muhammad. They're when it comes to, they're not selfish. Even in the terms of the trade, they're not selfish in trade, like they're good people. But I don't know if it's divided, but they tell us, some of them that we talk, they tell us that in them we have some people who are not going to they're not following the codes of the religion. That's why you have people like we have some groups like the Boko Haram, we have the Al Shabaab, we have the Al Qaeda. They say that they fight to kill the pagans. They call if they call Christian pagans, the the non-religion. So that they kill, because if they kill, they get blessings. And I don't know if it's a story or if it's true, but they say that if you kill one pagan, you're going to get 7.
You will go to heaven and have 999 women's above thee.
That's what I heard. That's what I heard. But when the others, when you ask them, they say, no, 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 no. We don't teach that. We don't teach killing. We teach love. We teach harmony. So it comes it comes a little bit hard when it comes to differentiating them. Yeah.
No, that's good. What is with the tribes? Do these tribes still exist, and do they still practice their own traditional spirituality, or is it all gone, or does it still exist? And how strong is it in Kenya?
It's not gone. It's not gone. For those who are living in the village, it's not gone. And I want to use the Agikuyu as an example here. Our forefathers used to be worshipping in the mountains, around the trees, in the shrines. They used
Yes,
to be
in the
doing that.
rivers, in the
We,
riverside.
yeah. They believe that our forefathers believed that the Most High existed in those physical features. They could burn offerings there, so that if there's drought, and maybe they believe that maybe something bad the community had done that was not appeasing or not appealing to the gods, the god make a sacrifice, maybe at the bottom of the mountain, or a tree, or in the caves. That one still exists. Let me use the Agikuyu. We have a tree in the Agikuyu region, the Gema region. It's called the Mugumo tree. It's a big tree. It signifies a lot in that community, in that group, in that clan of Bantus. Until now, we still have people in December. They not December. They have a certain period that they go just to worship, just to worship. That still exists. They play the drums. They play the trumpets. They go with their traditional regalias, brown skin, and some brown, let's say, hats, and some beads on the hands, bracelets on the hands. So I can't say that it does not happen. It does on the Highland Bantus. In the Western Bantus, we also have clans. We also have, we still have people, and you'll find most of them are the edged. They've held into that culture. They worship spiritually. They play drums, speak different. I don't call that tongues. They speak in different languages. They bow down, and they're speaking to the Most High. So
That
if
sounds good. I like that.
if you happen to show this to a child living here in town,
He will run away.
they're gonna run and say, "What's this? What's this?" But speaking the truth, yeah, it's really it's still there. It's still there.
Yes. Now a question that normally comes from my side. It's a question that shouldn't be asked like this, but this is a typical question when we talk about Africa. What is with the witchcraft in Africa? Does it exist there in Kenya also, and attacks here and all these kind of things? Do people fear this kind of things? Do this happen?
This witchcraft. It's not witchcraft. It was renamed witchcraft by the colonizers, but it was never witchcraft. In Tanzania, when the colonizers came, I think it's the British. We had a rebellion called Majimaji Rebellion, and it had its leader called Kinjekitile Ngwale in Tanzania. So this person had the power. This person had the power of changing bullets into water. I think it ever happened. It ever happened maybe to one or two, and from there he believed that it's gonna work. So in the rebellion, he took the troops, of course, the African troops, to go fight against the British, and he told them, "I'm gonna pray to the Most High, and the miracle is gonna happen. When they shoot at us, the bullets are gonna change, and it's gonna be like water coming out from those guns, and you're gonna spear them down and finish all of them." But unfortunately, that never happened, and most of the African people died in that war. They really died, and the British was like they were trying to see if really witchcraft happens. An African during those times, we didn't have armory, we didn't have weapons, we didn't have tankers. So they had to use the African skills. I call that African skills. They used to use African skills like sending bees, sending wasps to those camps, to go sting them, to go send them away. So from that, they started labeling it witchcraft. Which it was not witchcraft. It was a part. This is I normally say this is a power given to the Africans, power for good and power for bad. So if something, if you've done a mistake in the clan and they send you out, maybe you've gone to bed with your sister, that's an abomination. So they'll speak a bad thing against you. If it's running mad, you're going to run mad. Those people have the power, and they had the power to bless, speak to the atmosphere and rain to fall. They had that power. But when days went, they started misusing it, speaking bad against good. Follows a person you speaking bad. This charms, sending charms to a person that doesn't deserve.
Now, yeah, the power was there. The power was there for protection.
Yeah, it was
protection. This was there for protecting your clan and knowledge. Yeah, it was a spiritual thing that came from above. Yeah, that was given to every African leader and clans, etc., etc. And everyone had different kinds of skills. And agriculture was the one of the main thing that was a spiritual work that we do. We never suffered hunger, in Africa, like we can see today, because we can see a lot of photos from when they want to promote Africa. They promote very often Kenya and Somalia, like the places where there's drought. They used to show children with where you can see the bones.
Bones and the necks here, cheekbones.
And the necks, you can see this kind of things, and mostly they're showing Kenyan children. Yeah, oh, Kenya needs help. Kenya, do you guys receive the help? I don't think so. So the thing is here that the Western people, they used to do witchcraft by themselves. The only thing is that the black man has never understood. Yeah, the black man has never understood. But witchcraft, what we call witchcraft today, it's the white man that gave us this name to bewitch the good spirit that we had, to fly, to talk different kinds of languages, to see things that no one can see, to change atmospheres, to bring water from heaven, fire from heaven. So we had the like the umbilical cord, right? Like it has the a connection to the son or to the daughter. Like we had the connection to the Most High.
Yeah.
When you pray and your chicken makes kikiriki like 3 times, and you are in Holland. Again, kikiriki like 3 times, you are somewhere else. You know.
Yeah.
And today it's just like, no, let me do bad to my neighbor. Let me do bad to my brother. Let me do bad to my father. I want that what my son have, because the power does not do anything no more. It's like the power is gone,
Yeah, it's gone. It's gone.
It's gone. Only the bad things left.
For you to have certain powers during those times, live righteously, be a good leader. I think those are some of the traits that you are supposed to possess so that you can have those powers. You couldn't be a bad person and possess such powers. You could bring harm to the community. Yes, we have a leader called Luanda Magere. Luanda Magere used to be a warrior. This guy used to go. This fighter used to be fighting, and even a spear could not even pass like through his heart. Even if it passed, it could never die. So he conquered nations and really fought. But the Creator gives each and every one of us a weakness. So there's a weakness that Luanda Magere had. Luanda Magere had the shadow. The shadow was the weakness of this man. You can't kill him body-wise, but if you aim the shadow, if you aim a spear at the shadow, you automatically kill him. So one day he becomes sick, and he calls the wife. The wife comes, and Luanda Magere tells the wife that please feed my shadow. Please apply some herbal on this wound, on the shadow. And just like that, the wife went, sold the guy, and just like that, the guy was killed because the weakness was on the shadow. And if you read and if you do your research on these African warriors, you'll find that they were all powerful. They were very powerful. They only had some weaknesses that you could never imagine. We have some who could even spot poison in food. Could look at the food and say, this is poison, I'm not gonna eat it. This was power not given to everybody. You are to be chosen. You are to be chosen for you to possess such powers.
Do we have some more heroes in Kenya that historical?
The ones who are alive, or the ones that
ones who are alive, heroes, prophets.
Yeah, we have prophets. We have prophets in Kenya. We have people who really, the people who really helped in the independence. They even foresaw the colonial rule before it came, and they even said that the Creator, please take me before it comes. We have let me use this warrior called Koitalel Arap Samoy. This warrior foresaw the construction of the railway, of the Mombasa-Uganda railway. He foresaw the coming of the aeroplane, and he also foresaw the coming of the whites. He said that I see a big snake crawling in our lands, a very big snake passing through our lands. We should brace for the worst because it's not gonna be easy. I'm seeing a huge butterfly coming to our land, and it's coming with the rule, so we should brace for the worst. So later we come see that the big snake was the train, was the railway station, and the big butterfly was the aeroplane. He foresaw that. We have a woman here. In fact, here in the coastal Bantus, she's a heroine. She's Mekatilili Wamenza. Mekatilili Wamenza started fighting the white rule when she was aged 10. So she was also a prophet. She was detained and taken to far lands, but we don't know how she walked back from where she was, and she was able to locate a family. Though we are speaking of miles and miles. So she was also a prophet. Going to the Agikuyu, we have the Mau Mau. They're the heroes. Until now, we are free because of the Mau Mau. We have a person, Dedan Kimathi. He was a Rasta guy, lot of breads, and he was a warrior. He was a real warrior. We had women in Mau Mau. Mau Mau was just a formation. Mau Mau in Swahili means mzungu aende Ulaya, Mwafrika apate uhuru, like the white should go back to where they belong so that the African can gain back their land. That was the meaning of the Mau Mau. So it was like a group of people, women, men, that were ready to defend their lands. They are ready to defend their wives from being taken by these colonial masters. And yeah, if they were really tortured, just like I had started, they lived in the caves, and the wives are the ones who used to be taking food for them. The women, I really acknowledge the women when it came here. They used to go steal weapons from the camps, from the colonial masters' camps at night, burn them, and take the weapons to the Mau Maus in the forests. Speaking of the forest, these are forests, the same forest that covers the Congo Basin is the same forest that covers the Mount Kenya region of the country. So it's a densely populated forest, no light. And so the women used to be supplying them with food, water, and weapons. So women carry a very important role when it comes to the independence of this country. They must be acknowledged. It's very unfortunate that it's until now the country still fights on the two-gender rule that has never come to book. And it's very sad. Until now, we still have families of the Mau Mau who are still languishing in poverty. The leaders who took over the government just after the British left, they went to dine with the white and they had to follow the white rule, and they took over the system and they forgot. They forgot the Mau Mau. They're still languishing in poverty. They have nothing to show that we fought for this country. The leaders are the same leaders who have taken over their lands. We still have some Mau Mau children, Mau Mau wives still living in anguished poverty. So speaking of heroes, that's what I can speak concerning that.
Yes, this is very nice, and you impressed me because it's very important to know how Kenya received its independence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I like that to hear that the Kikuyu did their part,
Yeah,
because if you don't fight for your country, believe me, these invaders will never leave. Yeah,
yeah, they'll never
they
leave.
have a character to stay if they come. Yeah, like you can
Mhm.
see in many other countries, they come and stay forever.
Yeah,
So, what do you think? What will happen in the next years? What is the future of Kenya?
the future of Kenya. It's hard to say, but we must say it. We are defined from the places that we come, the clans, the tribes. It has come to a point where you can't get into an office with a certain name. If you mention a certain name, just count yourself out from that job. Ethnicity has really affected this country. And I must say that it has even affected the politics of this country. The Kikuyus are not the only clan that fought for independence. We also have the Nilotes. We also have the Bantus from the coast. We also have the Western. We also have the Western Bantus also fought for independence. So in inclusion, we are almost 52 tribes of Kenya, 52 clans of Kenya. So if we happen to fight our clan affiliations or our tribal divisions, then we're going to move forward as a country. If we view each other, if I look at you, Mr. Michael, and I say that you are okay, you're a Bantu, but you are a Kamba. Okay, you're a Bantu, but you're a Kikuyu. You're a Bantu, but you're a Baluya.
A typical tribalism problem. This is a typical problem from Africa, you know.
I think that's the thing that the West used this the
Western used it very well.
control strategy.
Even today, if we talk about the diaspora, and if you it becomes even worse if you see people coming from Africa and going to live in the West. The first thing that the first thing that they forget is where they used to come from. Now they have pommes frites, they have McDonald's, they have they will forget everything. So it's something that you are totally right with.
Yeah.
Tribalism must end. Must end. It must end.
Yeah, and just to drive a point there, to my friends, to our viewers who are watching, you being an African, and going to New York, going to California, going to Chicago, going to Belgium, France, doesn't make you a bigger being.
Mm.
Doesn't make you a bigger being. We've seen them, they travel, and when they travel, if you go to France, they're gonna show us the Eiffel Tower. Yeah, I'm in France. If it's UK, they're gonna show you the bridge. Show off, like it has been like an achievement. If you go out there, it's been viewed as an achievement. So if you go there and come back, people are gonna view you like an angel. Oh my god, he's from yeah, he was there.
Boss. The boss is here.
I'm the big boy. I'm the big boy. I rule the streets. Salsa stuff. Yeah, so that has been the notion, and everybody who has a relative there, if they finish school, the only thing they tell you, are you gonna make me? If it's an uncle, are you gonna make me connection so that I can come? Yeah, the life here in Kenya is so unbearable. I can't withstand. Let me just come there. I advise them. I can only advise them that in as much as you're running to those foreign countries, make your country. This country is where your parents are. This is the country that your forefathers were buried. This is the country that your kings are gonna live. Don't run from problems. Don't run from problems. Face the problems. Fight the problems. That's the only thing I can advise them. There's no pride. There's no pride. There's no pride in that. And there's nothing feels good like being home. Yeah, that's what I can tell them.
Exactly. You said
Yeah.
it very well.
Yeah.
Brother, the time is up.
Yeah,
Thank
I
you
see.
very much for your first time here on the Bantu channel.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
thank
hope you enjoyed it. The video is there on my channel. So, do you want to give to write your number maybe or your email address so that the people can contact you?
Yes.
We would cool if you write down your email address so that people can contact you if they have some more questions about the history of Kenya.
Yes.
And
Come.
hey, you are doing well. I think you have a great future with front of you.
Asante.
You will teach your children the righteous way
Mm.
because if knowledge is needed, in the
Yeah.
Bible is written, "My people are dying because of lack of knowledge." Yeah.
Knowledge. Yeah.
If we not lack of religion, praying is good, but
Mm.
if you don't know what you're doing, yeah, this is a problem. Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
know if you have to take the red pill or the blue pill, or even leave both of them. Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
So it's very important. Knowledge is needed, and
Mm.
thank you very much. Yeah,
The
it's
sana
a
karibu.
exactly. Yeah,
Mm.
I will see you very soon, my brother. I will make a prayer, and then yeah. Brothers and sisters, this was a young man. As you could see, the man has a lot of knowledge and appreciate. We need more people like him. As you can see, we fought. Yeah, we fought. The Most High Himself knows why um, why we were destroyed and taken captive. But I believe that the Most High will find a way to teach us our culture again, to bring back our borders like it was before under King Solomon. under our kings before the colonizers came, we had no tribalism among us. We had unity among us, and the Most High will find a way to bring us to bring our past back. Thank you very much for listening. Yeah, and yeah, I will see you very soon.